Hey everyone, so we are the group 7. So our topic is about communication for journalists writing a lead. So let's define what is lead. So before we start, lead is the beginning of a story, of a paragraph of a story. It is the hardest part to write as it sets the tone and introduces the reader to the rest of the story. So ang lead po is, as you can see, para siya yung mini title where the overview or the discussions of whole news is being written po. Like it summarize the or it concise the whole story or the whole discussion of a newspaper po. By in the lead po, in the lead, kumbaga it helps for the readers para ma-understand nila kung ano ba yung main point nung binabasang news, story, or anything man na mga babasahin po. Or anything, reading materials, like newspaper, something like that po. Gina-introduce na yung mga possible na main point or possible na makukuha nila doon sa babasahin nila. Concept grounding. Writing the opening paragraph of a news article or the lead is one of the challenging tasks. The manner of presenting the lead may discuss the reader's field reading the entire news article. So as I mentioned earlier, it is very hard or it is very difficult for us to write a lead because writing a lead is you need to set aside the important details. You need to know the possible main point of the topic so that you can encourage those reader na basahin. Kumbaga parang siya yung magli-lead para mainganyo or makuha niyo yung attention ng mga magbabasa. Next one is concept grounding. Perhaps a traditional way of opening a news article is using the summary lead or the straight lead, presenting the W, and just other types of lead include question lead, quotation lead, anecdotal lead, and descriptive lead. So in writing a lead, there's a different types of a lead where you can able to catch the attention of readers. So most important of part of that is the straight lead. Ano ba yung mga straight lead? Like for example, is yan na yung may mga ina-identify natin yung what, when, why, who, how sa isang paragraph so that they can easily understand what is the main point of a news or something reading materials that they can possible face or something na basically na something na makita nila or mabasa nila, especially sa news. Kasi di ba kapag sa news kasi maraming mga part na there's a lot of new concept or content. So meron yung parang something concise paragraph where you're able to identify those important details. So they include and concise it properly to able to understand and clear. So the next one is whatever type of lead you decide, use to remember to emphasize the most important details, be specific and concise, use active verb as much as possible. So in emphasizing the most important details is that you should highlight those crucial details in vital. There's a different element that we use to emphasize the most important details, like what I have said kanina, yung about dun sa mga major element, that's who, what, when, where, why, and how. Kasi so that they can easily understand where what is the most important that they need to look up or to pay attention. By having that emphasizing the readings, by emphasizing the details, it gives reader clear understanding of the core of the story, right from the start. This helps them to quickly determine if the article is relevant or interesting. The next one is be specific and concise. Specific means it's providing the exact information rather than general statement. Instead, the next one naman po is that concise on the other hand requires keeping it concise. Well, it keeping to lead short and to the point discussion, like with limited introduction, concise, where the message will be easy to understand. The next one naman po is that use active verbs as much as possible. So when by using that active verbs, it helps to the engagement and dynamics of a writing. So they make the sentence direct and easier to understand. This also helps in making the lead more lively and interesting for the readers.
A gag lead usually refer to an opening of a story, speech, or script that start with a joke or humorous remark. It's commonly used in comedy, writing, journalism, and public speaking to grab the audience attention in an entertaining way. In some contexts, gag lead could also refer to a lead actor or character in a comedy. So for example, they say honesty is the best policy unless you're a politician during election season. So next is a zinger. A zinger lead is a type of opening sentence in writing, especially in journalism, that is designed to grab the reader's attention with a sharp, witty, or surprising statement. It's often short, punchy, and sometimes humorous or productive, making the reader want to keep reading. So here's a short example of zinger lead. Break news: your morning coffee might be more loyal than your best friend. So this kind of lead is sharp, witty, and meant to immediately hook the reader with a bold or humorous statement. Contextual lead. Contextual lead is an opening sentence or paragraph that provides background information or context to help readers understand the story. It sets the stage by explaining the who, what, when, where, or why before diving into the main details. So for example, for decades, scientists have warned about rising global temperature. Now, new data show that last year was the hottest on record. So that's example of contextual lead. Scene setting lead is an opening that vividly describes a place, person, or event to immerse the reader in the story. It often uses sensory details that something looks, sounds, or feels like to create a strong mental image. This type of lead is common in featuring writing, travel writing, and human interesting stories. So, for example, the turquoise waves lapped gently against the white sand as a warm breeze carried the scent of salt and tropical flowers. In distance, a fisherman cast his net under the golden glow of the setting sun. So that is an example of scene setting lead. The last one is anecdotal lead. Anecdotal lead is an opening that starts with a short, engaging story or personal experience to draw readers into the article. It often sets the tone for the piece and help establish a connection between the reader and the subject. So for example, every morning before school, 10 years old Jake balances on a rickety wooden bridge to cross the river. It's the only way to get to class in his remote village, but he refuses to miss a single day. So this lead create an emotional connection and make the reader curious about what happened next.